A heartbreaking exit, a shocking silence, and now Rafael Nadal has finally spoken. What he said after Alex Eala's defeat has sent an earthquake through the entire tennis world, leaving fans and analysts absolutely stunned. We all expected comfort, maybe a few generic words of encouragement, but the truth Nadal revealed feels much deeper, almost as if he's sharing a secret from the heart of the sport. This is not just a post-match reaction, it's an emotional moment from a living legend that could define a generation of tennis. The tennis world is left asking, what really happened behind those closed doors, and why did Nadal choose this moment to break his silence in such a powerful way? The tension began long before Nadal uttered a single word. After Alex Eala's stunning exit at Wimbledon, a vacuum of silence enveloped the tennis community. 4 hours, it felt like the world was holding its breath, waiting for a reaction from one of the sport's most respected figures. Social media was ablaze with speculation, with fans tagging Nadal begging for his insight. The young Filipina star had fought with incredible heart, pushing one of the tournament favorites to the absolute limit before falling in a dramatic 3-set thriller. Her performance was hailed as a coming-of-age moment, but the immediate aftermath was dominated by the raw emotion of the loss. Then, just as the initial shock began to fade, a video surfaced. It was Nadal, standing courtside, his expression unreadable. He had just witnessed the match. The air in the stadium felt heavy. He wasn't just a spectator, he was a maestro observing a new prodigy. The silence he maintained was deafening, but it was the calm before the storm. It was as if the entire tennis world was waiting for a verdict, a blessing, or a critique from the king of clay himself. This waiting period was more than just anticipation. It was a testament to the immense influence Nadal holds, not just as a player, but as a moral and emotional compass for the sport. When he finally stepped forward to speak, the world was ready to listen, and the message he delivered was one for the ages. When Rafael Nadal finally broke his silence, his words were nothing short of profound. He didn't just praise Eala, he contextualized her entire journey, turning a stinging defeat into a powerful lesson about the human spirit. Nadal spoke with an emotional weight that is rarely seen from a player so often defined by his stoic, on-court demeanor. He stated, "Alex showed the heart of a true warrior. But more than that, she showed the maturity of someone who understands that this is just the beginning." He dismissed the notion that the loss was a failure, instead framing it as an essential, painful, and beautiful step in the evolution of a champion. Nadal reflected on his own early days, discussing how some of his most devastating losses shaped the player he became. "You learn more from these moments," he said, his voice filled with conviction, "than you ever do from winning. Today, Alex earned the respect of the entire locker room, and she earned my admiration." He highlighted that the pressure of playing at Wimbledon, under the scrutiny of a global audience, is something that cannot be simulated in practice. The fact that Eala thrived in that environment, even in defeat, was the most significant sign of her potential. Nadal's reaction wasn't just a pat on the back, it was a masterclass in mentorship. He was weaving her individual story into the larger, timeless narrative of tennis greatness, showing her and the world that true champions are often forged in the fires of their most crushing defeats. Something much deeper, touching on the immense and often unseen psychological battles young athletes face. He didn't just see a defeat on a tennis court, he saw a young woman standing at a crossroads with the entire world watching her every move. He touched upon the isolation that comes with being a rising star, the weight of national expectations, and the mental fortitude required to simply get on the court and compete at that level. "People see the result," Nadal stated, his voice resonating with empathy. "They don't see the hours of sacrifice, the loneliness, the doubts that creep in before a big match." Alex carried herself with the dignity of a seasoned professional. In this moment, he transformed the narrative from a loss to a rite of passage. He suggested that Eala's performance was a declaration that she belongs on this stage, and he advised her to carry that belief, not the sorrow of the loss, with her moving forward. This profound perspective forced fans and analysts to reconsider their initial reactions. Suddenly, the defeat wasn't a statement about her future, but a testament to her present courage. Nadal's wisdom effectively dismantled the winner-loser binary, urging everyone to see the value in the journey. He was showing that a legend's true legacy isn't just about the titles they win, but how they elevate the sport by nurturing its future. The moment Nadal's words were broadcast, the tennis world erupted, creating a wave of reaction that was as powerful as any Grand Slam final. Social media platforms were flooded with emotional responses from fans, players, and commentators alike, all echoing the same sentiment. Nadal had just delivered one of the most moving speeches in recent tennis history. Former players expressed their admiration, stating that such an endorsement from a legend like Nadal is more valuable than a trophy. Fans from the Philippines and across the globe united in their gratitude, feeling that Nadal had validated their hopes and dreams for Alex Eala. Tennis analysts scrambled to dissect his words, calling it a game-changer and a potential turning point for Eala's career. They predicted that this moment of high-profile support would not only boost her confidence but also attract new sponsors and fans, solidifying her status as a future star. The global tennis community, which is often fragmented by rivalries, found common ground in this moment of pure admiration. The shock wasn't just about what he said, but how deeply it resonated with everyone who heard it. It became a viral moment that transcended the sport, earning headlines in mainstream media outlets around the world. Now, as the dust settles on this emotional whirlwind, the most pressing question looms large. What does the future hold for Alex Eala after this transformative experience? The defeat at Wimbledon, which could have been a devastating blow to her confidence, has instead become a defining moment thanks to Nadal's powerful endorsement. The recognition from one of the greatest players of all time has given her a new kind of armor. She no longer has to prove her worth to the world. The world has seen it, validated by a legend. This moment is likely to serve as a cornerstone for her career, providing a wellspring of belief she can draw from in the years to come. All eyes will now be on her as she enters the next phase of the season, with expectations high but also a newfound global support system. The tennis world is eager to see if she can translate this emotional momentum into on-court success. There is a palpable sense that we are witnessing the early chapters of a great story. One thing is for certain, Alex Eala is no longer just a promising prospect. She is a player who has earned the respect of a king, and that changes everything. The journey is far from over. In fact, it feels like it has just begun. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the World Zone right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.